Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems, and I want to be the first to wish everybody here on our webinar this afternoon a happy Thanksgiving from American Business Systems. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. I know that you've got a lot going on this afternoon in preparation for tomorrow. And we will try to keep this as short as possible. I want to make sure that I get you the information that you wanted to come by and visit with us today. I appreciate everybody being able to come in and join in a little bit early. And I know that there'll be some other folks that will join us as we kind of get some things going on here. But I just want to tell again, everybody, thank you for taking the time to look at American Business Systems. We know that you have a choice over so many different business opportunities and so many different franchises out there. And we certainly hope that as you continue to keep looking, that you will hopefully find a home here at American Business Systems. So it's good to see everybody. To see Beth and Dee, and got some more folks coming in, Stanley. AJ, good to see everybody. Good to have you here. And there's some more folks on there. I'm not going to call everybody out by name, but just a few that I do see here on my list. But what I'd like for you to do, those that are calling in today, if you don't mind, just tapping over into the Q&A box and just putting in where you're calling in from. And I always like to see people. Today, we're going to be talking about giving thanks for new beginnings and also exploring the ABS business opportunity. So I think we've got some great things I want to be able to share with you. I've got a couple of videos that are actually built inside of the webinar today. Hopefully you'll be able to hear them. I think I selected all of the right little buttons here on Zoom to be able to do that. So one of the first ones you're going to be seeing here is from Dr. Vicki Rackner here real shortly. And she's got just a little blurb there. And then we got a real older, not a real older video, but a video that we've done in the past talking about some how folks that have gotten into the business, and you're going to hear from somebody who started this business part-time. So I know that some people always want to hear about that. So we got AJ from Indianapolis and Stanley from Chicago, Dee from New Jersey. Beth is watching from Mexico. Good for you. Maybe you're on vacation, maybe so. So that's awesome. That's good to see. All right, so folks, let me go ahead and get started. Again, I've already shared my name here, but I just want to put that back up here. My name is Eric O'Shea. I'll be your host this afternoon. Some of you have seen me on these webinars for maybe a couple of weeks. Maybe some of you have seen me around for quite some time. A little history about myself. I actually started with American Business Systems just about 16 years ago. I was grateful to meet a gentleman by the name of Patrick Phillips. Patrick became an incredible friend and someone that I am so dearly grateful for getting me into healthcare. He and I got started, or he let me join American Business Systems. And unfortunately, this year, Patrick did pass on. But I tell you, with folks like that, it's just, I just wanted to tell the audience here and the Phillips family just how much I'm so grateful for the friendship that I had with Patrick and the mentoring that he gave me. And so since this is all about giving thanks, I wanted just to give a shout out to Patrick Phillips there. So love you, sir, and certainly miss you. So, all right. So Beth's got a home there and one in Washington State. So there you go. That's a way to live. And yes, Beth, you can actually do this business while you're in Mexico. So that's a great thing to know. Hey, this next slide I'm going to share with you is a quick little message from Dr. Vicki Rackner. I'll introduce you real quickly who she is. She is on our board of directors as our medical director for the organization called MIRMA. And she's got just a brief little message she wants to share for you.
Congratulations for finding the American Business Systems site. You're probably looking for a great business opportunity, and you have found one. I'm Dr. Vicki Rackner. I call in my experience as a practicing surgeon and entrepreneur to help doctors thrive. What I can tell you is that while doctors are smart people, they don't have a great business savvy. So the services that ABS offers can literally help doctors turn their practices and their lives around. This is a viable, growing market. Not only that, Patrick Phillips and Adam Phillips have a true commitment to the success of the people who join the ABS family. I think you can't go wrong here.
So that's just a little blip there from Dr. Rackner. Again, I get to interview her 2 or 3 times a year get right her from her busy schedule. It's always good to hear from a doctor, and she's still continually to work with doctors. And as you can hear, that this is a growing business, and there is a great need for these services. A lot of people that are on here today, you're probably asking the question, why would a doctor need me? Don't they already have a medical biller in their office? And the answer is yes, the doctors need you, and a lot of doctors still have medical billers in their office. But just like any other types of work that needs to be done, sometimes the best move for those doctors is to get that outsourced. Now, a lot of people think about outsourcing like outsourcing across the ocean or somewhere off the country. But I'm going to tell you, it's always best to have folks that are local for those doctors that they can be able to contact and kind of get along with and build a relationship with those. This is a real relationship type business. And you'll find that out even as you're building your business here with these doctors. People like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And this is how I built my business in healthcare and to where I am in my career today in healthcare. It all started with medical billing, and it has expanded to now working with hospitals and doctors and physicians and NPs and really at the point now where I'm working directly with patients in so many other different areas. But listen, this is an incredible entry into healthcare. A lot of people think to get into healthcare, they've got to go back to school. They've got to go get some type of degree or a certification. But ABS has been here for 30 years, helping folks just like yourself get started in a business in healthcare that gets expanded so much. And it's because now Adam has become the CEO. He was entitled the CEO earlier at the part of this year. And Adam's been working this business as long as I've known him. Matter of fact, he's known my kids since they were little. And now I've seen his children grow up, and now he's got older children as well. But Adam has started with his parents a long time ago. This is all he's ever known. He has followed greatly in his father's footsteps, including not only has he just taken over the CEO, but another step that he's taken in line with his dad is that he's a contributing editor for the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. And Adam released an article at the early part of this year through this magazine on will the advancement of artificial intelligence kind of take my job out of become a medical biller or a coder. And if you haven't heard Adam and I did a webinar a few weeks ago where I interviewed him, and we kind of went into some more depth with that. So if you haven't seen that, go back to our YouTube channel, and I'll show you where that is in a little bit. And you can go back over there and check all of that out. Now, we've also have an organization called MERMA. MERMA is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. He is the founder of this organization, in which Dr. Vicki Rackner is our medical director on the board there. And it is this organization that you will be a part of once you have completed your initial training here with American Business Systems. That initial training consists of 10 different modules that will take you everything from understanding what medical billing is all about to what is the Medicare and the services for Center of Medicare and all of these different things here. We're going to help you through all the acronyms and learn all the medical terminology, all the way through doing billing. And most importantly, as you'll see here in today's webinar, how we're going to help you get to your first client. So if you think about this, this is more than just starting a medical billing company and you learning medical billing. What you're learning is a healthcare industry in what's called revenue cycle management. So if you haven't heard that term now, you might want to write that down. But MERMA is the organization that you'll be a part of as soon as you complete the training here, and that they are the ones that actually certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. And that's what you're going to be able to put behind your name as your credentials. They'll be able to associate that with that on the MERMA website, and then learn a little bit more about what MERMA's doing. MERMA's also coming up with an advanced training. Again, if you missed my interview webinar that I did with Adam a couple of weeks ago, you'll learn that not only are you going to get this initial training, but we actually have more of a graduate type of training that we are introducing here in 2025. Now, it doesn't mean that you need that, but you also get a different certification, an advanced certification. But the certification that you'll have as a CMRM is really all you're going to need to get your business kicked off, get your first clients, and get the show on the road. Now, American Business Systems, hopefully you've been to our website. If you'll go there and you haven't found what we're looking at here, there's an article. If you'll go to absystems.com, and at the top right-hand corner, there's a big blue button up there. It says, Our 5 Secrets to Medical Billing Success. If you haven't gotten a copy of that, please go get that as soon after the webinar. It's free. You got to put in a little bit of information about yourself. Don't worry, we already got all your information. It's not like you're going to get bombarded by somebody else here, but it's just more information that you might want to get a hold of. So, every year we get to this time of season where we're 5 to 6 weeks out from a new year. Obviously, we go through the holidays. We've got the Thanksgiving holidays. We've got Christmas on top of that. And then soon after that, we've got a new year. And folks, if you think about it, we kind of look back over 2024 and we're going into 2025 and we're kind of going, wow, what has happened to 2024? And it's what I like about today's webinar. It's more of a little bit more relaxed webinar in which we can just have this conversation. Just think that we kind of gathered around the Thanksgiving dinner table and we're just talking about business today. And I want you to be able to ask me any questions that you'd like to as we kind of go through this. One of the slides that I have here, and I liked it, and I pulled it from an older slide deck that I've had in the past, but about Dave Ramsey. And everybody kind of knows Dave Ramsey and what he's been able to do. But his quote here, the worst thing we can do is to get a second job. The best thing we can do is start a home-based business. And this business is designed for you to have a home-based business. This is a business that can actually be started part-time as you are maybe finishing up what you're currently doing in full-time work. It may take you a little longer to get the first client. We understand that. We've been doing this obviously for 30 plus years. We've had several successful people do that. Some of you are maybe getting to the point where you're wrapping things up and you're ready to start something brand new, and you can put full force into this as 2025 rolls around. So it's just some things that you might want to be thinking about. I don't think getting a second job is going to help everybody's economy. Starting a new home business, I think that's where it is. And because you have a lot more freedom. And these are some of the things we're going to talk about today. I'm actually going to go over 7 different things I want you to be thinking about before or as you're attempting to make the leap from maybe an employment situation to now a business owner. And remember, this is really what it's all about, is that you are becoming a business owner in healthcare, just in the part of healthcare that has to do with what's called revenue cycle management. AJ is asking the question, does everyone need to get certified? Yes, you need to become certified because that's part of the program, because whether you feel like you need it or not, you're going to be going through the training anyway. And like I said, the training is it is 10 modules long. And it'll take you about 2 weeks to complete that. So that's one of the things. All right. So let's talk first things as we go through here. One of the things that everybody's going to be here today thinking about, what about the investment? Maybe you might have the question, you don't know if you've got enough money to start the business. We're going to briefly talk about some different avenues that you can look at. And I'll try to help you through that as best I can. Now, you do have a sales rep that you're working with. So if there's questions that I'm not able to get to today, write those down. Say, hey, Eric said to get back with my sales rep on that. This is one of those areas that you're going to want to do that. Number 2 is I don't have enough time. I work a 40+ hour week now. Again, that's why I'm going to show you a quick video. Now, this is a video that Patrick did with one of our business owners, and you'll kind of hear the dialogue that they have going through this. And I think it was really important for me to put that in there so that you can hear the story dialogue going on there of how this one gentleman actually got started without having to quit his full-time job. The third thing is, this is probably the biggest one, and usually happens during around a Thanksgiving dinner table. My friends and relatives say I shouldn't start my own business. Look, folks, only you know whenever it's right to start a business. Now, listen, friends, relatives, they talk about different things. Why they'd say that you shouldn't start a business, I don't know, but hopefully we'll help you with a few of those things. Some of you may be thinking about, I don't know anything about sales and marketing. Sales and marketing actually scares me. We're going to talk real briefly about that. We have so many different topics that we've talked about on these webinars that we'll try to help guide you through what we can. Number 5, I like the healthcare industry, but I have no background or training in it. That's why we're here. It's kind of like what AJ was asking. Do I need to get through the certification? We think that you need to go through our certification because not only are you going to get the training of how to do the billing, but we're also going to show you how to do number 4. Of how are you going to get that first client and stay with you and support you until you get that client, and then even after that. AJ's asking, how much support will we get from your team to help us get the first client? I think I was already kind of answering that. So that's what we do, and I'll explain that a little bit more as we go through it. Number 6, I don't know anyone who could support me once I get the business started. I'm already ahead of you, AJ, where these are some of the things I will hopefully that you'll get through out of today, and we'll do our best to try to get this within an hour. We've already been in it for 15 minutes here. And then number 7, what if I get started and I don't like the business? We're going to try to, we've even got a solution for that as we kind of go through with it. So let's first of all, let's talk about this first thought. I don't have enough money to start the business. Let's first of all talk about the investment. If you looked at any of the other business opportunities out there and franchises, you'll find that, again, American Business Systems is really on the lower side of all the investments that are out there. So we're right at $30,000 as the investment to get started with us. It is a one-time fee. There are no franchise fees. There's no royalty fees. That means that there's a one-time fee for everything that we have here, which includes your training, a lifetime of support, all the different services that we have. And so you're getting it all in one fell swoop here. There's nothing that we're going to come back and add things or say, you know what, we need a little bit of revenue off the top of what you're billing. That's not what American Business Systems does. We make money on the back end for all the support mechanisms that we brought to the table, like with iClaim and EMRX or the CodeWrite or any of the other different services. When you're utilizing those services, those companies pay us on the back end to support your lifetime of support. So this is why we've got such a low entry, but ABSs continue to be supported because we have all these users on these same platforms, and then we're getting a little bit of residual income on the back side of that. Again, enough to support our team here and continue to do what we do here at American Business Systems. That's why we obviously, again, do not have to have such a high entry rate to get in, like a $250,000 plus revenue that we would get from you to keep support going on. So that's how we do it. That's how it's been structured. Patrick Phillips, when he started this business, that's how he's always wanted to keep it. And look, whenever you're making money, we're making the money on the back end. When you're doing all of your revenue management with your doctor, if you're billing at 7%, all of that 7% is going directly to you. So that's how you learn this. So let's talk about money. I'm going to put this up here just as a diagram to help you understand. People probably, some of you might want to go get a loan. One might be what's called an unsecured loan, and obviously the other would be a secured loan. That's mean it's backed up with something. So fortunately, I've got a son that's in banking, and he and I had this discussion a couple of years ago, and he told me, he said, Dad, if you're talking with your folks there at over here at American Business Systems, and they're wanting to know about how to go to their banker and talk about what kind of loan do I get, he says, go get a personal loan, okay? Work that out, and don't go in and say that you want to have a small business loan. At that point, when you talk about a small business loan, you automatically get pushed into a completely different category of funding, because at that point they're going to go in, they want to know how long you've been in this business, really what kind of what kind of revenues are you making. They're going to look at your past history for the small business loan. So the $30,000 investment is still low enough that you can go in and get a personal loan and back that up maybe with your mortgage or with some other type of, it could just be your own credit. Your credit may be high enough that you can secure that loan yourself, okay? There may be some money that you're going to possibly use up at the front end, but you might need to finance a little bit on the back end. We've had literally hundreds of people put this on either zero or no interest card, or zero or low interest cards, credit cards. You get the advantages of that because a lot of times the people are using credit cards to get their points. So those points can rack up pretty quickly through that. You can put those on 2 or 3 different types if you want to kind of spread those out a little bit. You can certainly be able to do that. So that's really the big thing about these loans. Don't go in with the small business loan vernacular. Talk with your banker about doing personal loans. Stanley said, do you charge a 3% fee back to the buyer when using credit cards? Stanley, that's a great question. I think that is there, but talk with your sales rep. I haven't been on that side of the sales rep in a while, so I don't know if I know that answer to you real quickly, but check with them. I think there's some things that are done there, and it may be. So just check that out with them. So whoever the sales rep that you're working with, be sure to ask that question to them. All right. And there's some other creative ways. There are some things that are new out there on funding. So I've just shared with you the bigger parts of it. I mean, obviously there is, if you've got pretty good equity in your home and you've got some cash that's just kind of tied there to your home, obviously that's a great way to pull some money and use it as a business startup there. So those are some brief things that are there. How much, Stephen, I'm not sure what that third word there is required to start. If it's in the investment, maybe it's been a keystroke there, but it's a one-time fee of $30,000. So it's 30,000, zero. That's it. There's no deposits and payouts or any installments that we have here. Okay. All right. Thought number 2. This is the big one. A lot of you are thinking about getting started in a new business, and gosh, do I have the time for this? We have had a lot of people start this business doing it part-time. Like I said earlier, it might take a little bit longer to get your first client. Okay. I always like to preface that because, again, we here at American Business Systems, one of the things you're going to find out about us is that we are extremely transparent. We do not blow up the numbers. We don't try to, pie in the sky type things, because we understand this is just a flat out business. It's a business in healthcare. It's not one that you're going to go out and just, you're going to go out your first week and just burn up the trails in this thing. This is a long-term business that people get into, and then they stay within the healthcare industry. Some go bigger, some stay smaller. Some folks have 1 to 2 doctors, which creates an income right around anywhere from, I'd say, $70,000 to $100,000. At 3 doctors, you're probably about $125,000 to $150,000 in revenue. And that's money to you. And that's with you working the business by yourself. But as a part-timer, 1 doctor can generate an income process, depending on what type of doctor it is, can generate about $55,000 to $65,000. Okay. What it's going to take you to do that work is about 2 hours a day, because if you think about it, you are developing and creating anywhere from 30 to 40 claims a day. Each of those claims will probably take you, even 2 to 3 minutes at a time, which you can see there is probably going to take you about a couple of hours per doctor to do their billing. Okay. So can you do this part-time, still work and try to get that transitioned over? Absolutely, you can. So the great thing about it is that with this particular business, you can basically work at your own pace. There's no quotas that you have to quote unquote make there as you're going through anything. So it's not like you have to maintain to be a business owner with American Business Systems. You have to meet some type of quota within a certain amount of time. So that's nothing that you necessarily have to worry about. About half of our licensees have started this business part-time, as I've mentioned earlier. Some franchises will not accept you unless you can do it full-time. And this is one of those business opportunities that will allow you, and we accept you to get this started on your own pace. We know how to find, hire, and train sales reps. And you'll find out that that's one of the best ways that you might want to get started. And matter of fact, the video that you're going to see here is this gentleman that got started. He actually got started with someone actually helping him find that first doctor. And many doctors can't be seen during regular business hours anyway. So we're going to teach you how to set up appointments with them before they open, and a lot of times, many times after they're open, and sometimes even on weekends. So we're going to be able to do that. Got a couple of questions that have come in. Hopefully they're pertaining to this area. If not, I may tell you that I'll save that question for here in a little bit. But let me read Stanley's. What if I decided to end the business for whatever reason? Are there penalties and terminations? Is there requirements to have ongoing clients at all times or minimum? Okay, so there's no minimum quotas. Okay, as you see there. What if I decide to end the business for whatever reason? Are there any penalties for termination? No, there's no penalties. It's your business. So this is what's so great about this and not being a franchise. You're an independent business owner. Stanley, if you want to kind of step away from that and just hire people just to keep, if you've got doctors, why would you get rid of them? It's generating income already. You may not like the business after you get started with it, but you might like the money that's being made. And so just hire some folks to continue the business for you, and go do what you like to go do. I mean, there's some things you can do. Can I buy if someone is selling the ABS business, or do you have to such business people who want to sell their business? There's not many people that once they get going that they sell their business. Now they may transfer it to somebody in their family because they want to, again, kind of keep that business going and still make some residual on top of that. That's what we find out a lot. But usually once people get in here and they remember, this whole business is a relationship. I like the doctors that I still do business with. Matter of fact, a lot of the doctors that I used to do business with in billing, I'm now associated with them in some other business ventures that have grown into great personal relationships with them. So listen, that's what you're going to want to do, and stick with it. You're going to find this to do very well. What do franchisees do when they take vacations? Do the claims wait, or do they find some to fill it in? That's from Beth. So Beth, you can obviously be able to run this business from anywhere. You mentioned earlier that you have a home in Mexico, but one back in Washington. You could literally do this business anywhere. Matter of fact, there was one licensee that did live up in Washington and ended up moving to Arizona to be closer to some family. He already established some doctors up there in that area, and he just does the billing for them. Now, when you want to take vacation, if you need some help, support is here. The gentleman that runs our support team, his name is Tim Warren. Tim has a medical billing company. There have been times where he or somebody else that he knows can actually help you take a little bit of time off. If you need to take a break there, but you need to keep the business going, you need to keep those claims going, you can certainly be able to do that. All right. The next slide is this video. So let me see if I can get this prepped up here for you and see if I can get this going and hear this testimonial.
Are you doing this full-time?
No, sir. I'm not.
No. So you work a full-time job?
That's correct. I kept my full-time job. And then I do this right now, I'll say less than part-time even.
So how many hours now do you put in on this business?
So I'll say in a week about 5 to 10 hours
Okay.
that I dedicate on this in a week. The reason for that is because I have employees now, right? They take care of all the operations, the marketing. I have in-house marketers. I have in-house operations guys that handle everything that I used to do by myself.
So where are you right now? Do you have several clients?
Yes, sir. I have at the moment 7 clients that I'm billing for.
No wonder you need some employees. How many people do you have working for you doing the billing?
I have 4 billers, 1 coder, and then 3 marketing staff.
Okay, so Jude, explain to me, you still have another job? Why is that? Wouldn't this provide you a pretty good income if you have that many clients?
They do, but I keep I'm an electrical engineer, you already know that. I still keep that. The goal is to get to a certain financial point, and when I get to my number, then I'll be comfortable walking away from.
All right, so that video is a little bit longer, and I want to make sure I've got plenty of time here to give you some questions, time to get some questions in, and want to try to get through all 7 of these before we have time to end the webinar. But you can hear from Jude there that he got started. He's got plenty of clients. He's still working through that, and was able to keep working his regular job as a electrical engineer there. And I haven't heard from him lately to see if he's been able to reach his goals, but I wanted to share that with you just so that you could hear that you can start this business part-time, and you heard that he was using marketers. And I'm going to show you a few of those ideas here in just a little bit. So thought number 3, and I mentioned earlier, this is one of those things that you might even get asked about this week if this conversation comes up during a Thanksgiving dinner. My friends or relatives say I shouldn't start my own business. And it's basically because folks, think that you're going to have to go to school and learn how to do medical billing or become a coder. And, people might ask, what do you know about medical billing? Well, here's one of the things that I can tell you, and that is Dr. Vicki Rackner is here to actually help you. She wrote a book that's called The Myth of the Rich Doctor. And folks, this is the stuff that builds credibility. Not only do we have books that are available for you to be able to personalize and utilize, this is one of those books that can be done. In her book, it talks about physicians in private practice, on average, walk away from about 30% of their income. Outsourcing their medical billing could bring their claim rejection rates as low to 2 to 5%. And this may be the fastest and easiest way for a doctor to increase their cash flow. Folks, if you were just talking about that just right there, if you kind of just took that snapshot of this screen and you kind of started building your what we kind of call your elevator pitch with people, this is the business that you're getting in. Plus, here's the great thing about support. Whenever it comes time and you've done all the things necessary to get it to this point, we're the ones that actually do all of your demos for you. So you pick up the phone, you call Tim Warren and say, hey, Tim, I've got a potential doctor. I've done the practice analysis. I've got the practice analysis report. It's time for this doctor, and they're ready to see a demonstration of the system. We actually schedule that with you for your demonstration. So although you're going to go through training, you're not going to go through training on how to do a demo. Leave that up to us. We've been at this for 30 years, and we will be able to answer any questions those doctors have in your preparation for getting to that client. So we're the only company that will actually provide these live demos. And now we've actually got 3 different iClaim platforms to choose from, depending upon the size of the practice, some of the things that the practice might need to be able to accomplish. Some doctors like to keep their own vitamins and they need to keep inventory with that. Some doctors need a little bit of AI in their billing and when they're taking their notes down for their SOAP notes. So we've got different solutions for you, for your doctors, and we'll do a demonstration of any of those whenever we get to the point where we are helping you with those demonstrations. And the great thing, the good news about it is once you've got a doctor to a demo and we're helping you help that doctor kind of navigate what you're going to be doing for them, we're helping all of our business owners close about 50% of all deals that come through at that point. So just imagine getting them to the point of the demo is really what you're trying to do, because we can help push that over the line for you. So that's why it's so important that we're here to help you with that. All right, Beth says, I've watched a demo that shows how iClaim works. Is there a similar demo of the franchisee's back end that shows available reports? Is this sufficient for accounting, and do most franchisees of ABS use QuickBooks or something similar? You know what? That's a great question. A lot of our ABS business owners do use QuickBooks or something similar to that. All the reporting that are in these, sometimes you don't even need QuickBooks because it does all the calculations for you inside of this. Now, it can be exported out, obviously, into a QuickBooks format on any of this. So for your accounting. So hopefully, Beth, that helped answer your question there. All right, let's keep going here. Like I said, we're already at the halfway through the bottom of the hour already. Thought number 4 that you might have here today as you're kind of thinking about, do I start this business or not? I don't know anything about sales and marketing. Well, that's why we're here. We have been at this for a long time. And a lot of the marketing techniques that we utilize to get people to come talk with us here at American Business Systems, we actually utilize in helping you get your doctors. Everything from showing you how to do these webinars, if you're so up to doing that, if you'd like to do your own webinars, we will teach you and train you how to do that. We have scripts, we have slide decks, we have everything that you want to do that for. We can show you new ways in which AI is actually helping find doctors out there who might need some help there in this. But we've got you covered whenever it comes to all the marketing materials. We have all of the marketing materials that we're going to have for you. They're all going to be customized for you with your name, your contact information. Everything's going to be on these flyers here. And these flyers do and are very useful as you're going through it. Now, you don't give all these flyers to a doctor, all of a sudden just kind of land it all on a doctor's desk. But we'll show you how to get something on a doctor's desk, and I'll show that here for you in just a moment, to get them to call you instead of you having to chase them down. But included with that $30,000 investment, you are getting a website that's already designed with all of everything that you need to get your website up and going. The only thing you're going to need is your URL, your customizable URL, which means that you're going to get to name your business whatever you want to, and then create the URL, the website for that. And you're going to want to put your contact information there, how they're going to contact you, even on that form that's on there. It's going to go directly to your email account, not to ours. This is a website that you own. If you want to update it and change it, we can show you how to do that. Add new graphics to it as you kind of go along. But everything is what you're going to need there. Then we have educational events that we can show you how to create educational events to help you with your marketing. What I mean by educational events is that there's sometimes that you're going to want to go into a doctor's office and maybe show them presentations. And we've got presentations already built for you already. So just kind of highlight one of those. One of those, our services is called, it slipped my mind so far. Let me go back one slide there so I can find it there. It is Compliancy Guard. You can see it right there. I had to think for just a quick minute there what it is, because it's right underneath this particular slide right here where it says right there, audit licensing presentation. Okay, so whenever you've got different things that the doctor might need to go through, maybe it's HIPAA compliancy, maybe they've gone through an audit, maybe the different types of solutions that you can actually bring to the table to the doctor. Sometimes these presentations are great to either do a webinar on. You could record your own webinar and post it out to other places like on YouTube or on Facebook or some of the other news sources that we have here to utilize to get this information out to doctors. One of the best things I ever found out was I used to love to go to doctors' offices and yes, kind of do what people would think about as cold calling, but it's really not cold calling, because I would walk in and just simply say, hey, I'd like to, my name's Eric and I'm with whoever company, and I'd like to speak to your compliancy officer. Many times I got an invite to the office pretty quickly because they might think there's something wrong with their HIPAA issues. But what I was only going to tell them is that I'm going around to some of these doctors' offices, and if you'd like for me to, I can come do a small little presentation during a lunch period. I'll bring in some lunch. Let me just give me 10, 15 minutes. I can give you a little bit of the highlights of some of the new HIPAA laws that are coming, like it would be like now, 2025. And it's no cost to you. Just want to share that information with you. And then you start to develop that relationship, and that will go a long way. But we have different ways of getting things in front of you, in front of doctors. And if that's too much for you, I'm actually going to share some other ways that you can do that. But in these 10 modules that you'll see here, you can see that we've got over on the left-hand side, all of those modules have to do with, again, how the practice flow works, the introduction to medical billing, the overviews of iClaim, EMRX, hands-on sessions, everything that you see over there. And then everything on the right-hand side, the rest of your training. So when someone asks, do I need to go through your training to be certified? I'd say yes, because this is where you're developing your marketing plan. And you're going to have, towards the end there, you're going to see a jumpstart program to actually get you your first few visits with a doctor. Lastly, in this whole part of it, one of the great things that Patrick had a great hand in helping out with is that he created a book called The New Thriving Medical Practice that he wrote with Dr. Vicki Rackner. And the great thing about it is this is a print on demand book, which we can customize at any time to put you as the CMRN, the Certified Medical Revenue Manager, who has wrote the foreword to the book. Now, that is in a template format. If you'd like to take that format that it's already in, you like it, you go with it. If you want to change it up and make it more customizable, you can do that. And one of the ways that we're going to show you how to get this in the doctor's hands is imagine getting this mail to the doctor in a special envelope that is going to go entitled to the doctor, confidential. We're going to show you how to be able to do that. Get this in that book in there, and with a letter from Dr. Vicki Rackner, as one doctor referring another doctor. Just basically, she's saying, you know what, you may not be thinking of your medical billing right now, but let me highly recommend Beth Bauer over here as a potential somebody that you might be wanting to look at about your doing your medical billing. And then she was to be the one that's on the front cover of the book as the one that wrote the foreword. We're also going to show you how to utilize this book and highlight certain areas of the book and tab those with those little flag tabs, that you can put in as a marker there, and put a few of those in the books where the doctor can get through that book pretty quickly. We've seen so many people, especially during the COVID times of the year that we had when nobody could get into a doctor's office. A lot of our licensees, or a lot of our business owners here, actually increased their business during that time and didn't decrease at all. Then for a drip marketing campaign, we have greeting and postcards that will help you, again, be always on the top front of that doctor. Once you've sent out this book, and you might want to put a doctor on a little bit of drip marketing campaigns, we've got that. These are actually cards. These are not e-cards, so they're actually going to get them mailed. And again, say confidentially to the doctor, they're going to get this information. Finally, if all of that is not a good solution for you, we are going to show you how to find and hire sales reps. This is where you get to work within your community. You're going to go out and find some folks that are already in the healthcare business, that are already working with doctors. And your entry with those folks is you're telling them about what the business you're a part of. That's how I found some of my first doctors. I just got involved with my healthcare community. I met some other sales reps. That's how I got my first client. All right. Beth said, does ABS have a mail for your program, or do we have to stuff envelopes yourself? No. This is that campaign that's right here, Beth. This is actually a service that you can go in there and type in all of your stuff, and then add your electronic signature to it. They do it for you. It gets stamped. It gets mailed. You don't have to do anything. So hopefully that helped out there. All right. Thought number 5. I like the healthcare industry, but I have no background or training in it. Well, that's again where we take you on a very in-depth overview on medical billing and all the medical billing terms. We're going to show you how to do it. This is a one-on-one training. We used to bring everybody into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, spend about an entire week with everybody. And really, it was literally drinking from a fire hydrant. But we decided literally a year before COVID hit, we made the venture of stopping that and going to a more online training. Now, this is not recorded online trainings. This is just like you're going through right now. You're going to have an instructor that's going to instruct you. You will coordinate your schedule with our lead instructor here, who has been and still has her own medical billing company. So not only are you getting someone with expertise, but you're going to find someone with expertise that's going to help you actually get your first few clients. So it's imagine it's from the very beginning. These training classes are not just to help you learn medical billing. It really is working with somebody like our lead instructor over here who owns her own medical billing company and has been at that for 15 years herself. She's still gaining clients. She's going to be able to help handhold you through getting your appointment set with doctors to start talking about your business. We're going to train you in the whole ABS solution, why we're different, why doctors need to be a part of what we call an ABS solution. And then again, you'll hear these training modules that you see already, everything from the introduction to practice flow, introduction to medical billing, all the way to that last part of the Jumpstart. Now, this is just a simple medical billing process of what people just got to understand. You got that patient that comes in, there's services that need to be rendered by that doctor, which creates a medical claim. That medical claim consists of two types of codes. There's one that's called a diagnosis code, what's wrong with the patient, which will verify and signify why a doctor needs to charge the next code, which is the procedure code. So the doctor found out what's wrong with you, and then this is what the doctor did. That's the information that's collected by you from the doctor with all those codes. So you don't even need to be a coder. You're going to take it and you're processing their claims, and then you're managing that revenue cycle management all the way through. You're going to learn what clearinghouses are, how it works. We have our own internal clearinghouse in our system, which makes it a lot better and easier, so you don't have to go hunt and try to put together a clearinghouse with your billing platform. We already have that for you. That gets shipped off to the insurance companies. And within our system back over here too, it's actually catching any potential errors. That's why we can claim to have less than a 2% rejection rate, because there are two places where a claim could get rejected. One at the clearinghouse, which would get sent back to you at number 2, or it could be rejected at the insurance company. Again, going all the way back to that second step over there. What we're going to try to do is avoid those being rejected along the way, because our system does all the checking of all the errors that need to happen. Finally, obviously, the insurance claim pays the doctor. You're keeping up then with that system. You'll know when those claims are paid. Thought number 6, I don't know anyone who could advise or support me once I get started the business. Well, again, what you're getting from American Business Systems is a training and support business opportunity, and this is how we'd be able to do that. You've got an entire support team made up of business owners of American Business Systems. Okay, Tim and his team, all of his support team members are currently still running their own medical billing company. But we brought those people on simply because we couldn't think of anybody better to support you and what you do than people who have already been down this path. Just like the gal that does all of our training, who has been there, done that, and is still successful. It's the same process with all of our support team. These aren't people that we brought in here just to train them how to deliver support. These folks know how to deliver support, and we're here to help you out with that. Matter of fact, we have an incomplete ABS licensee support site that is open 24 hours a day. You can see there that you can call that number 866-565-8412. You'd hit number 2, and through Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 every day, you'll get a live person from our support team to help you with any potential questions that you may have. But on our licensee support site, we have tons of things that happen through there. You're going to get alerted whenever we have monthly roundtables, or we have times where we're going to teach you more information, or even better yet, when we've got new services that are coming on board, we're going to bring you together and teach you in training and all of the marketing materials that you're going to need for that new service. We're going to help you with that. And again, that comes at no extra cost. Once you become part of ABS and any new services that we bring on board, remember, those go to you because you've already made the initial purchase and agreement with us on the support and training. That's what you're getting from us for a lifetime. AJ says, I'm assuming that all the multiple cross-functional integrations between iClaim and the rest of the translational systems are done within ABS and by the ABS. Yes, they're within the system of iClaim and EMRX and the clearinghouse, that's all functional within itself, okay? Let's see, how many people are in training sessions as due to multiple time zones, and how many hours is the training per day? Dee, that kind of going back over here to this part right here, each of these modules are about 90 minutes long, okay? If you've got other business partners or other family members that are going to be a part of your ABS, part of your medical billing company team, and you need to get those folks trained, get back with your business, your sales rep here. I know that there's a cost that goes with it for other people to be a part of that. But there's always maybe an end of the year special where they're doing some things there. So you might want to check back with your ABS rep here, check on that. But they'll coordinate if you're on the East Coast and a business partner or somebody that's going to help you work this business, you're going to do it together on separate parts of the continent here. You can coordinate that with the trainer here. All right, let's get to Myrma here. Okay, again, Myrma is always here to help support you. We've got new things that are coming on. Like I said, we've got a new training class coming up there through Myrma. We've got ongoing training on that ABS LSS website. So anything that we've got new that goes in there, and we've just put, because just last week we did a new service that we have here at American Business Systems. And we just went through all of that. And so it's been successful. People are already starting to use it to get clients, which is even better. Dee is asking, is there a service charge or any other costs involved when we have various ABS softwares like iClaim? There is no additional fees that you're going to pay to utilize iClaim. Now, I say that with a hesitancy because I want you to understand whenever you're utilizing systems, doctors are already utilizing some type of what's called a practice management system / medical billing system. They have either purchased that and they're working on some server within their office, but a lot of doctors are getting away from that because it's too costly to run their own IT system within their office. And then they can't manage that outside the office. So many doctors have gone to a cloud-based system. Most all major systems out there are cloud-based now. The doctors have to pay a monthly fee for that. That is no different than they have to pay a monthly fee to use iClaim. You're not paying for it. The doctor's paying for it. Now, with that said, when we're setting you up, we may show you how you can absorb that cost for the doctor depending upon what you're going to charge that doctor. Or you may include that in your percentage of what you're going to charge the doctor on a monthly basis. But that's not a fee that you're paying American Business Systems. That's a fee that you'd be paying iClaim or EMRX, just like the doctors are currently already doing. Many times that cost is less than that. Matter of fact, one of our platforms, I believe, is actually at no cost for that. So there are some great creative ways that we've been able to help with that, and we're going to show you how to do that. Last thought is this, folks, and we're getting ready to wrap up. What if I get started and I don't like the business? Now, one of the things that you may know, if you've looked at any other business opportunities out there or franchises, you know once you sign that agreement and you've invested that money, you're done. And you have basically what you find out, all sales are final. Not like that here at American Business Systems. What we do, we actually give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. What that includes is your entire training is included within that 30 days. So all of these modules that I talked to you about earlier, I'm going to get back over to there so you can see this. Well, did I pass it up already? Yeah, right through here. all of these modules that you see either on that screen or this screen here is included within that 30 days, because each of these are 90 days, 90 hours, sorry, 90 minutes per module here. You should be able to get through this in about 10 days, 10 to 15 days. And you will know at the end of that training whether this is the right business for you or not. This is the risk that American Business Systems is willing to take on everybody that comes in with us here at American Business Systems. One of the best things I can tell you about Patrick Phillips and his entire family is that he's never been one of those types of guys in a business opportunity that wanted to make you feel pressured in knowing that once you've given us your money, there's no way out of it. We all thought he was crazy especially whenever I joined the organization. I thought, you're going to give people an opportunity to get their money back? That's just crazy. But let me tell you what it's done. It has built a trust. And I believe that trust is why ABS has been here for 30 years. So if you want to make sure that you're making the right decision, go ahead and get started with us. Go ahead and invest the money. That money goes into a trust fund. It doesn't get cleared until you've completed your training and that 30 days has been up. Because if you do exercise that part of the agreement, we want to make sure that we make that transition as quickly as possible for you, okay? And that all it is just getting all the material back from you, because you're going to get everything shipped to you. You're going to get all your training delivered to you, and we want you to evaluate it for another 30 days. And so that's the best way that we can feel like we can be fair to you, because again, we want you to be knowing that you've made the right purchase. So folks, we're coming at the end of this. And again, I know that you've spent at least 55 minutes with me so far. If you'll give me just about 5 more minutes, I'm going to kind of tell you some of your next steps. But again, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. If you've got to pop off here, I completely understand. But let me share with you, there's a few things that I'm going to encourage you to do. One is to get our research guide. This research guide is about 65 pages long, so you want to go ahead and get that. The place that you're going to get that from is back from your sales rep. So just get back with your sales rep after the webinar is over. Make sure that you've got their email or their text, and I'm sure they'll answer it, even though it's over the Thanksgiving holidays. They'll be sure to get back with you. You've got hopefully you might have some time over the next couple of days to go browse our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/YABS. Folks, we have done literally hundreds, if not thousands of webinars over the years that I've been here to help encourage you to make sure that you're making the right decisions. Everything, what are the secrets for getting your first client, to listening to interviews with other ABS business owners. Matter of fact, Jeff Bruner is part of Tim Warren's team. And I'm going to encourage you to call somebody like a Jeff Bruner or a Tim Warren after you've watched some of these videos, which kind of basically leads me to, let's see, the next step here. Why don't you get a hold of some of the ABS people that are already business owners with American Business Systems? So ask for an owner's reference list. Get that from your sales rep here. We've got plenty of people for you to talk to. Just kind of a little secret, the lady that's up in the left-hand corner is the trainer. The other guy down there on the right-hand corner is Tim Warren. So we've got people from the beginning to the end on this. So folks, you can see that you can talk to just about anybody that you want to. You want to see a live demonstration of the software? Go ahead and ask for it. Get back with your sales rep. We will schedule a Zoom meeting with you and take you on a tour of that. If you've got other business partners that are going to be associated with you, please get that with them. Then just simply request the link to get to the purchase agreement. That purchase agreement is about 4 to 5 pages long. I know it's 5 pages long, and you can certainly be able to get that. And then lastly, you're going to want to get the funding and the training, get all that set up. Folks, we can get you trained here in no time flat. There's still enough time to start at least your training here at the end of the year. Some of you might want to check in with your CPA or some type of tax attorney to see if that you want to invest this $30,000 here at the end of the year. That might be a tax advantage for yourself, but again, don't take it from me. I am not a CPA or a tax attorney, so get with somebody that is much smarter than I am and ask for that, and we'll certainly be able to work with you on helping you get that arranged. folks, it's come to the end today, and I hope that this webinar has been helpful for you. We just tried to just give you some thoughts to think about. We want you to give thanks on hopefully some new beginnings. I hope those beginnings start with American Business Systems. And it's been my pleasure to kind of spend, like I said, the last few minutes and hours on this Wednesday afternoon, right before we get into the holidays. And again, let me wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Give us a call here at 866-565-8413. 866-565-8413. We'd be happy to help you. Beth says, thank you for sharing the opportunity with us. You're very welcome. I appreciate you. James, happy Thanksgiving. You have a great week and weekend. Great job. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of the kudos that are coming in. Happy holidays to you too, Dee. Listen, folks, y'all enjoy the next day or so. Remember, we've got family coming in or friends coming in, and make the most of it. We all know that it can sometimes get tense around the dinner table, but hopefully you'll have just a wonderful time sharing with everybody, giving people hugs and enjoying hopefully a lot of good food. Don't overeat tomorrow, but just enjoy the day. And we will be back next Wednesday. Looking forward to talking with you again, and y'all all have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye, everybody.